worst idea of all time. It's the worst idea of all time. Season 2.
Love is your color. Hello. Welcome to a lot further on in the credits that we normally get to. That was Kate Hudson and Leona Lewis.
It was not Kate Hudson and Leona Lewis. It was Jennifer.
Oh, God. It's starting.
It was a close call.
It's always very scary. I feel like there is a point of no return with this, where even if we started it by accident, if we got to like the first line of dialogue, we have to watch the whole film again.
Yeah.
That
is a strange hold.
Why have I got my media player on a loop there? Because that is a high stakes game I'm playing.
It's the only video file you have on your
It's the only one in
computer.
That video is
It's the only thing that could be looped.
Welcome back to the worst idea of all time. I'm presuming this isn't your first trip at the merry-go-round. This is a podcast in which my friend Guy Montgomery and I, Tim Batt, I've taken the liberty of not allowing you to fuck up your own intro like the last couple episodes, Guy. We watched the film Sex
and I'm Guy Montgomery.
You got me. Sex and the City 2. We're going to watch it 52 times.
It is a real pleasure to be here, Tim.
Very excited about that prospect. And we just finished
the 33rd.
Yeah, 33rd watch, which makes this episode 34. I'm going to crack it one of these days. It'll be so good.
What a feeling it will be. That was not a good one, Tim.
We went fully nuts during the viewing of that. I'm not afraid to say. We really flipped the switch.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving around, a lot of noises being made, a lot of jam sessions.
Yeah, a lot of jam sessions. I've put in bongo drums. I've taken the liberty of putting some bongo drums in the studio.
There were monkey noises. You've got neighbours with young children that you're always very wary of. You never let me make my monkey noises at full tilt.
Well, I let you make them before 3 o'clock because I know they can't be home from school then.
But after 3,
yeah, it was too late.
Trying to inject a bit of mystery in their lives. What? Hey, Mum, Dad, do the neighbours have monkeys?
Yeah, but you sound terrifying, like the kind of monkey that would rip your face off. Do you remember a couple of years ago there was that woman who had it wasn't in a ring. I think it was a chimp. And it bloody ripped her face off. And she had constructive surgery, and now she looks pretty cool. And everyone's like, fuck, constructive surgery is awesome, and we are very good at it now.
I know, I missed
Is this ringing any bells?
I missed that whole story.
I think the headline was, we are fucking awesome at plastic surgery now, and reconstructive surgery.
Yeah, it's nice when the newspapers, it's just us humans giving humans a bit of a pat on the back and saying, you know what?
It's way better than chimpanzee defaces woman, ... literally.
That's a pretty brutal headline.
It is, but that's what they go with, man. They don't go for the
you got to sell
silver
papers.
lining.
You got to sell papers.
Well, I'm just glad that we're at a point in our history with technology and medicine and science, and as a society to provide resources to the experts who can conduct it, that if any of us are in the vulnerable position of being attacked by a wild chimpanzee and having our faces ripped off, there are people ready on hand to help.
Do you now imagine that if you were to be attacked by a chimpanzee, an airy calm might come over you in the moments before the attack?
No, I feel like that fight or flight instinct's still going to kick in if I'm going toe-to-toe with a chimpanzee. I'm going to call him Jimbo.
Presumably, I can't imagine a circumstance in which a human doesn't start the fight with the chimpanzee. Like, I'm always going to be like, the chimpanzee is in the right here.
Nah, because chimpanzees...
It's either because we've taken them somewhere and we've put them somewhere where they think we've moved them somewhere and that's where you live now. And if you go in there, eventually one's going to be like, I don't like living here. Or the other circumstance is like you're in their environment and you accidentally, startle one of them.
Nah.
And they wig out and go for you.
Option 3, Guy Montgomery. We all share this beautiful planet, so let's not pretend just because one of us is putting the other one in a cage that we're putting them somewhere they don't belong. Okay. We're all on planet Earth.
I am absolutely not on board.
Secondly, those dirty monkeys, if you look them in the eye, will freak out to the point where there are signs all around any good zoo where kids go that say, do not stare at the baboons.
Exactly. So if the baboons attack you at the zoo, that's because you've made eye contact with them because you're an idiot.
If I have to be that sensitive that I've got to avoid eye contact with a baboon just to not get attacked, then what kind of society are we living in? You know what I mean? I'm all for equal rights, but I feel like we're bending over backwards if we can't make eye contact with a baboon without ceding our right to not have our face ripped off. You know? That's what I'm all about.
Wow. So, welcome along to the worst idea of all time. Tim, what did you make of Sex and the City 2 this week?
Oh, I didn't like it at all.
I didn't like it at all.
We were saying at the start that because mixing it up is the best thing. So going to Los Angeles was a big mix-up, and that kind of hit the reset button a little bit. We were watching the movie in different circumstances, like a beautiful Sofitel hotel lobby in LA. That's different, people milling around. There was a different watching experience. But now that we're back on home turf, and this is the second one since we've been back, I feel like all of our community chess cards have been played, and now we're just back to the grind of being stuck in prison and not rolling doubles,
We're just playing out a game of Monopoly that we can't possibly win.
Yeah.
Yep, not a good feeling.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty startled at how restless and sort of itchy we both were.
Very early on.
It's not a physical itch. That's more of a it's. I'm not saying we don't have rashes. Like an itch, not eczema or nothing. Like like we were restless, itchy. Like an itch.
I don't know why I'm nodding on a podcast. In space, no one can hear you scream.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying
no
is,
one can see you nod.
We were walking around, pacing, making noises, singing
You did
songs.
a lot of stretching. Sometimes I forget that you're such a limber lad, but you really had limbs all over the shop.
We were doing everything to avoid actually interfacing or watching the movie. And yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. It feels like we've come back from a trip abroad and we're really back to work now.
Just to describe the surrounds, and this will probably be where we watch the movie going forward. So it's like a shed, sort of. 3 white walls, a light blue concrete floor, very low ceiling. I called the measurements 7 feet by 11, 10, 12 feet. 7 by 12 room, and it's got one wall, instead of having a wall, has glass panels and some glass doors. And so we're in a bit of a fish tank situation where everyone can look in on us.
Yet no one is.
Oh, it's a private residence, I should say, as well. It's not like we bought an office to watch the movie in town. So if you want to come see us, corner of Queen Street,
we're renting a container.
Shortland Street.
I feel like we should at least make some sort of effort to discuss the happenings within the film.
Oh, yeah.
May I ask
Mate,
you, Tim,
I've been trying to this whole time. Can't wait to rip in.
Your shining light for this week?
So it's a two-way tie, which never happens because, I mean, some weeks I struggle to find one thing I like about the film. But this week I found two. I'm going to say two because one of them we were trying to figure out if I've done before, but I don't think I have. And even if I have, I don't mind because I've got a backup. Here's the first one. There is a musical refrain that plays in the film when Big and Carrie's storyline is kind of playing out in front of the camera. And it's quite simplistic, little piano roll. And it's kind of I think it's in a major key. It's very hopeful. And
I know the music you are describing.
Yeah, but yeah, you've seen it a lot of times. I'm kind of using you as the audience surrogate right now.
Do the refrain.
No, I'd rather not.
Okay.
I'd rather not.
Hey,
and there's also
your body, your choice.
There's some strings in there as well, like violins. I think violins, maybe a cello. Sounds like it's got a bit of bottom end on there. And it's just nice that they've like in a musical you have that where you have like characters have sort of their themes, and the song always has those refrains in the song when it goes to their bit, even if it's within the song, which is a different style or whatever. It's cool. So that's what they play with in Sex and the City 2. And at the end, they really fucking mess with it when Carrie's freaking out because she's kissed Aiden, and they chuck a minor chord in there to like resolve on, or not resolve as the case may be. And it leaves you with a lot of tension and an awkward feeling.
I am glad it cut through this week, Tim, against all odds, and really struck a chord with you.
I don't want to burn the second one because that feels new now that I've said it, and I need to hold on to all the life rafts as we continue through this choppy journey.
Yeah, well,
how about you?
You're certainly going better than I am. My shining light is Miranda.
Go on.
Just Miranda's laugh, in general.
When does she laugh in the film?
She's always laughing. She's always having
Like, just pick one of them, I guess.
Yeah, obviously. When they're on the camels, she's on the camels with Charlotte, and her phone starts ringing, and Charlie gets very excited because it's Harry calling her, and Carrie throws in the absolute zinger burger of, who's her long-distance provider? And this just cuts Miranda up like you wouldn't believe. And she does a distinct Miranda laugh. And I really lapped it up this week.
Is there any chance of you emulating it on?
No, I'd rather not.
Okay, fair enough. That's fine. Don't feel any pressure to, because it's up to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So, what a film, eh?
Yeah,
How many minutes is it again? It's 2 hours and 20, what?
Six.
So 2 hours is
146 minutes.
No. 166.
Yep, and that. No. Yeah.
No, 46. No. No, it is 46. It's 46. We definitely should be better at that. It's 40. You got it right the first time, and then I threw a seed of doubt into your brain.
Don't
but
make us
worry,
do
I'll check
maths.
the arithmetic.
It makes me feel vulnerable.
Yeah, I hear that. What's pi?
3.14, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, you got it.
No one needs to know that stuff.
No.
There are buttons on machines which have the exact value of that.
Yeah.
It's just there for you. So don't get that. If you got it in there, free that information.
It's
like a bird.
It's crazy now that, because previously everyone was like, why would I bother learning anything in school? I just type in a bloody search engine question into Google and it'll give me the answer. Now you don't even have to type it. You just talk into your phone. You're like, Siri, the fuck is this thing? And then Siri will tell you. It's like having a friend with you who knows everything.
Yeah. And eventually it will be. Siri will be a friend.
But without any of the benefits of being a friend. Like,
but
being
none
a
of the
human with empathy.
None of the drawbacks of a friend either.
What are the drawbacks
Just
of having a friend?
Time. You don't have to pester your friends for boring facts. You just go to Siri.
I see.
Look, we're getting way off track just relentlessly. We are.
Boy, are we.
We cannot actually. This is phenomenal. This is exactly the same experiences we had just watching the movie, where we cannot
try.
We're literally, it's like there's a force field between us, which is blocking either of us accessing Sex and the City 2 as a talking point.
I noticed another extra today at the wedding scene, which I was very excited about.
You did.
I think it's because I turned the screen brightness up a little bit, and there's people in the back there who aren't very well lit, so he bloody flicked up. Good looking dude. Love what he was doing with the place, to be honest. It was awesome. And Pink Jacket, I saw try to start an applause break, which I am very confident was that extra's decision on the shot when Liza Minnelli is doing the whole brooms gag.
Yeah, it's when one of the guys getting married, not the Italian guy.
Not Anthony.
Yeah, the other one.
He's got a last name for Stanford.
Stanford, yeah. After he says bridegroom, broom, and the whole crowd starts tearing up, and Liza's like, oh, that's marvelous, which it isn't, and we've discussed before. And your old mate, Pink Jacket, sort of puts his hands up by his face so that they're visible to camera. He's always finding his bloody light, isn't he? And he starts lightly applauding, and it does not take.
Pink Jacket is everywhere, bro.
He is.
It would be kind of cool if they, like Seinfeld, hides a Superman doll in every episode. If Pink Jacket's actually been in every
in the background of every frame.
No, not every frame. It's a very big challenge for a
DOP look closer, man.
No, what if he's actually he doesn't look old. Probably be 5 when he started, but maybe not 5. I'm exaggerating. Maybe 15 when he started, when the show started. But he's in every episode of Sex and the City. Imagine that.
Well, you know what? I'll probably never find out.
Now, one thing that struck me about the film this time, Guy, is the fact that it's called Sex and the City 2 and it doesn't have the subtitle. Like, Sex and the City 2, the gals go to Abu Dhabi.
There's no tagline, do you mean?
Yeah. Like Matrix 2, Reloaded. Well, I think it was just called Matrix Reloaded, but you get the gist.
Yeah. I don't think that's a real phenomenon. I think it's pretty common for a sequel to have no tagline. If the franchise is big enough, they'll just be like...
No. Okay, but hold on. Here are the parameters. It's got to be a franchise, right? So it's got to exist. And I don't just mean there being a first movie. I mean like a TV series or something.
But why are you putting all these wacky parameters
Because
on it?
I feel like those are the ones that should have a subtitle, and Sex and the City 2 falls into that because they had like 1 billion seasons of its HBO show. So it should be Sex and the City 2 Get Carried Away. Like, I know they use that as the advertising. Just name the movie that. Or something better, obviously.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It should be on there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they really missed a trick there.
It's not that they missed the trick. It's just I feel like they're not following convention. Give me another franchise
It's an
that doesn't have
unconventional
that.
movie.
Who does that?
Uh,
Think Star Trek. There's a TV series, so all the movies, the sequels to the first one had
I don't know
subtitles.
I don't know anything about Star Trek.
But just know that. Just know that.
As a reference point to prove that backs up your
Are
argument.
there any Scooby-Doo movies that got made that are like not reboots, but a sequel to something that already exists? I'll bet they've all got subtitles.
You
Bad
tried
example.
to drag me down this rabbit hole while we were watching the movie,
I
and
know.
you're doing it
I'm
again.
prepared to try it again. I conceded Ghostbusters too, because I think they rushed the animated series maybe out after the first movie, but I could have that wrong as well. I don't know. Which I would consider a franchise.
It's all
But Ghostbusters 2 doesn't have a subtitle guy.
idle speculation.
Yeah, it is. Where's he going?
Bebop.
Why is he
Scuba
scatting?
beam bong.
Those are the questions we're faced with week after week, trying to dissect every frame of footage on this Java-loving man. I thought there was extra frames this time, so we had a look in slow motion at one part a second go around, and it turns out Guy was right the whole time. It wasn't Coffee Guy. It was a guy who's outside the cafe during the establishing shot who just looks an awful lot like him.
That is right. Maybe a sibling keeping an eye on his deranged Java-addicted brother. Maybe not. It was very difficult to tell. All I know is I have been watching this guy like a hawk.
What have you noticed? Have you noticed anything strange about his behavior or his patterns recently?
I have. When he drinks with his left hand, when he drinks his water or picks stuff up with his left hand, he doesn't bend his elbow at all. It's at a perfect right angle the whole time.
Because he is so in love with math. He loves math.
He's actually had two. He's had his arms extended. He's had 2 meter-long wooden rulers.
Yes.
Not the one with an elbow hinge, which would actually function like an elbow. Just 2 full-length, separate, wooden, meter-long rulers attached. One for his forearm, one for his bicep arm, whatever you call it.
The
And I mean,
arm bone.
it is. He honestly stands out like a sore thumb.
Like a big 4-meter wingspan sore thumb. Wouldn't it be? Yeah, that's math for you. He loves that. Well, baby, does he love addition?
4 meters.
You said 2 1-meter rulers, so if you stick it out that way, that's 2, and then you got 2 arms, so that's 4. 4-meter
His
wingspan.
right arm is fine.
What a caveat. What a hole you've dropped me in.
Yeah.
I really admire that guy. I admire your ability to fuck me up very on the fly. Didn't even consider that was a possibility. And I heard you say left. I heard it.
I mean, if you look closely like that, I
It
watched
wouldn't
this guy
occur to me-
like a hawk, like a
it-
bird of prey.
It just wouldn't occur to me that a friend of mine would be such a fucking shithead to drop me in it like that. That's the thing that threw me. Really didn't expect that.
I would argue, I would rebut.
I didn't know you had it in you. I thought you were a better man.
I specifically said left arm to denote that the other arm would be fine.
It was a
You,
massive dick move, bro.
it was absolutely telegraphed.
Terrible.
You missed a trick there. You're as bad as the title makers for Sex and the City 2.
Well, we can all agree on that.
Anyway, so he's got this arm.
Oh, yeah, right. The rulers. Yep.
Yeah. And that was the main thing I noticed. And I was sort of looking, I was wondering why would this man have such a such an extender arm for no apparent reason. And you notice his right arm's got this relentless sort of motor, like it's tapping away, and he's feeding himself coffee. It's because he's trying to blend in.
And he's doing math all the time in his brain, and that needs caffeine. Ever heard of the Nash equilibrium? Do you know how Russell Crowe came up with it? By drinking tons of coffee and not going to sleep for 56 hours.
And them's be the facts.
Look it up, folks. Game theory. We owe a lot to coffee and Russell Crowe.
Look it up, folks. Game, set, and match.
Guy, there's a big old, big old leather-bound book I can see. Big old dusty old book on the shelf.
Big Dusty.
The Big Dusty, she's bananas, not because of why you'd think, but actually because the book has here like Dusty Springfield.
That's right. The book is actually covered in the hair.
I feel like Dusty Springfield's not a name, is it?
Yeah.
I should never have second-guessed myself. As you were.
Listen to your heart. When he's calling for you, listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. Listen to your heart before you tell him goodbye.
Jesus, that was beautiful, man.
Bone jangling stuff.
I dropped the little thing I was playing with. It was so...
Yeah. I think that was Dusty Springfield's most famous song. So anyway, the book's covered in Dusty Springfield.
Surely Son of the Preacher Man is even most famous.
Actually not. It was the techno hit, Listen to Your Heart.
Surely not. Surely that can't be right.
And those are the facts.
So as you were saying...
Oh, well, it's pretty much the book's covered in hair. God knows why.
Oh, yeah, but look, so what I'm saying is we busted open. We bust open Dusty.
And what's inside it but Mr. Big's big book of ideas.
Indeed. And within the book, we find a book.
Choose Your Own Adventure book.
Yes, it is. So we turn to page 1, as all good boys and girls should. And the first page reads thusly. Dear reader, welcome and congratulations, for you have stumbled upon an incredible journey waiting to unfold before your eyes. Whilst this may look like a typical young adult's novel, what this in fact is a treasure map. In this Choose Your Own Adventure book, you will be literally determining whether you are brave enough and smart enough to find treasure. We have hidden 300 possible endings in the book. We have run the numbers. It is so statistically unlikely that someone would thumb through the whole book or accidentally randomly pick the correct path which leads them to the real treasure map that we feel very confident in publishing millions of copies of this softback because we're smart with money to find the smartest people to distribute wealth to. That's what this is all about, finding adventurous, intelligent children to bequeath gold and jewels to.
And all the young boys and girls went running to their parents and said, Mama, Papa, look at this book I have found. Surely you must let me go on this quest to find the treasure. I must prove to be the smartest child in all of the land.
Why, no, Charlie, you're going to be a banker like your father, see?
Oh, but Papa, no. You must listen to me. The book, it promises all the wealth in the world. I'll be as good as 10,000 bankers to you.
Good as 10,000 bankers? What a preposterous thing to say. We bankers rule the world, Charlie.
Oh, Father, no, you don't understand. I must go.
Not if I get you first, Charlie. I'm taking off my belt. Oh, you've left.
Yeah, and so a lot of children ran away from home to
Specifically, a lot of Charlie ran away. He's just one kid, but there's a lot of him. He's fat, is what I'm saying. He's a big kid.
Why are you bringing that up?
Because
we didn't need to put that. Didn't need to be in the story.
Because he's an adventurer. He's not letting things like the fact that he's 8 or a bit chubby get in the way of going for a massive adventurous run.
And you do have to respect that about him.
God, yeah.
An
Doesn't
8-year-old
let barriers
boy.
get in his way, is all I'm saying.
Anyway, as promised, of course, the book it's very difficult to solve, and it's very difficult to find the treasure. And this is big, of course, is trying to recruit the best of the best. But what winds up happening is young Charlie, who's obviously the hero of this story, stumbles into an alternative ending, like a booby prize sort of ending. And what he finds is a street vendor where Mr. Big is hawking rat mignon. There's been a huge upsurge in the number of rats walking the streets of New York, and he's seen a business opportunity, so he rents himself out as pest control, and then he fillets the rats and he minces them and makes them mignon, and he puts a rat egg on top.
What is mignon? And I
think it's just raw. I think it's just raw beef or raw meat.
Chicken. You can have.
You can't do it with chicken.
Oh, it's got to be beef.
Or yeah,
pork filet mignon. That sounds like it exists.
I don't know. Well, anyway, the rat industry, the rat mignon industry, is booming, and young Charlie gets taken under Big's wing as sort of initially just as an intern, but eventually in an advisory role.
Middle management kind of blue collar.
To this day, that's how Mr. Big. That's more of an origin story, really. How he hired his associate Charlie.
And of course, they all lived happily ever after until Brady the Rat King found out that someone was making mignon out of his mignons. And then he exacted his cruel revenge. But that is a story for another day.
Oh, wow. That's right.
More about this movie, though.
Minions 3.
You know
Brady and the boys.
What I'm interested in is the film, guy. The film. What did it make you feel? What did it make you think? What did it make you do?
It made me...
What did it make you sing?
It made me... Let's just say... The film moved me to a bigger house.
I don't think it makes sense in the context, though.
No, I said the quiet part, the loud part quiet, and the quiet part loud. I've blown it. It didn't do anything to me. It just made me insane. I literally couldn't look at it.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I was upset at everyone. No one was making good decisions. I mean that both as actors and also the characters in their life choices. I was deeply frustrated.
And also the people in this room as well. I feel like we weren't helping.
That's right. No one was doing anything good.
We almost ate a whole party bag of Doritos. Just out of boredom. Neither of us were hungry. It was just something to do.
Doritos, they don't even do anything to you.
I actually mentioned in the middle of this film, and I'm being kind of 80-ish% serious, I don't think I should put too many sharp objects around me while I'm watching the film, because I was you were doing something, and I was looking forward to getting hurt, to getting injured by you, because that would be some sort of stimulus.
That's pretty full on, bro.
It's not good. It's not healthy.
I think you'll be fine. They'll be fun to play with. You'll feel the danger.
What, knives? Like sharp things around me? Oh, you mean those emotions? What are you getting at?
I don't know, the sharp things around you. I don't think you should, I'm not, advocating knives.
Yeah.
As always.
We should bring back that co-host, though.
We should not.
Was so bang up. He was great. I got a lot of respect for that knife.
For what reason?
So steadfast. Doesn't change his opinions in his mind.
It's a knife.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm happy to put a pin in it.
I want a little bit more juice out of you. Actually,
you want to squeeze me like a citrus fruit.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. If you had to, how many more times do you think you could see the movie? If we just did it once a week.
Open-ended?
Yeah.
No, there's no way it would be more than 52.
Beyond this?
Yeah.
So, from now, 52.
Oh, no. Whatever's left.
In total.
Yeah. 19.
Do you reckon you can do more?
Why?
There's no... I cannot stress this enough. This is not a leading question or a loaded question.
Yeah, I know.
This is purely hypothetical. I'm just trying to chuck something else at you to engage you. Get that brain...
No, this won't work because I have no desire, there's no value in watching it more. And also, since we've started, it's been in my head that it's happening 52 times. And so that's how much punishment I've mentally prepared for.
Yeah. You can release a little bit more of yourself each time, but it's all proportionate to how much there's...
But yeah, no. I mean, What would your answer to that question be?
So good question. Great question. Genius question, I would say. I reckon I could so I guess it depends on the reward at the end of it, right? Really. Every man has their price. I feel like for the right price I could do another year. If it was like for
Sounds like you're
$2 million.
whoring yourself out.
For like $2 million.
An oil baron listener. Well, I like that Tim Bad boy. I give him $2 million to watch it.
Just pain, just pure pain. That's what that guy loves. He loves paying to see people in pain. There might be foolhardy though, because we thought that this was just like a funny movie to pick, Sex and the City 2. But we were very wrong. And I'm not a good forecaster. So I actually take back my answer. Even for $1 million, I don't know if I could do another year.
$1 million. Come on.
$2 million.
Game changer. A whole $1 million. Just
if you got to pay tax on it though, what are you getting?
So what?
$650.
What are you doing?
I don't know, man. It's a good question. Well, I'm doing it for significantly
it's a
less than
rubbish
that now.
question.
$2 million, there's no question. $1 million.
Put that question in the recycling bin.
Think about it. What's $1 million like divided by 52? Like how many dollars do you get a week if you get $1 million in a year?
Maybe like just about 400 and something thousand.
No, 40,000 a week.
Yeah, 40,000.
40,000.
To what? To
Can
what?
you hear those kids?
2.5 hours of your life.
So they're home now. That's why I don't want you dancing around like a bird man, scaring the neighbors.
Like a monkey.
Mm.
I was not like a bird man.
You just look like a bird man normally, though.
No.
When you're thrashing around like that, I just see a big parakeet.
I look like a wiry athlete.
Like a young David Hasselhoff.
I look like I've got the svelte arms for removing keys from fine places.
And you've got the sturdy legs of a wrestler, a professional wrestler.
So I wrestle up the troops. When I need to get all the military troops checked up before they go over into enemy lines, what I do is I wrestle them with my legs, and then they go, "Ugh!" and they're all hopped up with the energy and adrenaline, and they go over the top. Usually it's just a drill, and when they go over the top, it's just a whole lot of puppies because we like to brighten their day up. So
Danish architect Dick Spurt reminds me of the worst kind of military man who trains as an officer. He does officer training, so you go up that whole other path. If you're in the army, you go up like one stream, and then if you do officer training, you go another, and they become, if you follow it through, they're the ones who become generals and stuff. If you go up the like grunt route, even if you are the top ranking soldier possible, like you've been in the army for 20 years and you're fully decorated and you're like the top of that, a junior officer, like a guy who's just graduated, is still your senior.
yeah,
Shitty, eh?
yeah, that is shitty.
Dick Spurt is the kind of guy who would do officer training and be terrible at it and lord it over guys who are like twice his age, fully decorated war heroes. It's the kind of shit Dick Bot's up to.
You're really ragging on the dick bot this week.
Yeah, I fully believe it though. I think he's a real piece of work. I mean, a great piece of engineering. There's no questioning that. But also, in the more traditional derogatory sense, he's a real piece of work.
I think our reaction to the movie this week is a real testament to the power of it and the respect and man it should be given. I think you could look at the movie like the ocean, right? There's a lot of moving parts. It's dangerous out there. Don't go swimming out there without a spotter.
Yeah.
I don't know, and like just swim between the flags.
Yeah, because it's vast and it can be rewarding, but equally, if you hang out in it too long, it's a matter of
You'll
time.
get
It'll
lost.
kill you.
There's a deep rip.
Not if, when. If you spend too much time out there. The ocean giveth and the ocean taketh away.
You got to respect the ocean.
All right, well, look, that's us. So, thanks a bunch. And I guess this is Timbat signing off another ep this week.
This is Delta Captain Montgomery bidding you $5 for running back 2 in Real Trouble in My Fantasy Football League.
It's the worst idea of all time. It's the worst idea. idea of all time. It's the worst idea of all